Hello everyone, I'm Roseann Sarica Benedict and I'm here today to do a cooking video. But the first thing I wanted to show you was my very cool new apron. Um, that is a caricature of me. She's a bit skinnier than I am, a bit prettier than I am. But anyway, nonetheless, so this is my new apron. But of course, I think the last video I told you I can't stand aprons like this because then, they tie around your waist and then like, I don't know, I just can't stand them like that. So I am going to put this apron, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull this up like this and put this like this and then tie this apron like this. So this is how I'm going to wear my new apron because that's what I do. But anyway, so I hope you like it. It's quite fun and thank you. But anyway, that's my new apron. So, and this should be fine. It still serves the purpose of me wiping my hands on my clothes. So anyway, okay. So today I am going to make a family recipe. And this actually, I think this is going to be backwards because I'm doing a selfie, right? So it's going to be backwards, but it's a cookbook called Eating Italian by the Sacco and the Mercedes families. So my mom was a Sacco, and but it's eating, and they together, those families, which they're all related, they got together and made a cookbook, and it's really quite an exciting cookbook. It has really good recipes in it, and one of the recipes is something that they call St. Joseph de Barese strudel, also known as Ruccola alla Barese, but if you ask my family how they say it, they call it Ruccola. I have no idea. It's probably a dialect from where they come from, Bari in Italy, but nonetheless, we call it Ruccola, and that's what I'm going to call it. So anyway, basically, this recipe is you can either make your own dough or you can buy pizza dough. So you need a package of pizza dough. You need like tons of either onions or scallions. We use scallions just because I don't know why. I think it's a more mellow flavor. You need olives. If you like the Italian olives, that's what you can use. I don't, so this is the olives I use. You need pignoli nut cookies. Yes, you need some of those too. But you need some pignoli nuts. You need some raisins. You need oregano, some garlic salt, some black pepper, and lots of oil. So basically what I'm going to do, and you're probably going, what is that recipe? Like, it sounds really gross. Scallions, raisins, olives, pignoli nuts, dough. But you know what? I don't know what it is. It's sweet and savory. It all comes together. It's so amazing. You're going to love it. So bear with me, and I think you'll really like it. So the first thing I'm going to start off doing is sauteing the onions. So you cut the scallions in, little pieces, and we're going to saute them in 3/4 cup of oil. That's a lot of oil, but you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so I have my scallions, and I'm just going to chop these babies up into, little pieces like this. And you need a lot of them because they really do cook down. And so that's why they call for 3 pounds of onions or scallions. They smell so good. So I did 3 bunches. I don't know if it's 3 pounds. It's just 3 bunches is plenty. Okay, so I'm by the stove and I have my frying pan with my 3/4 cup of oil in it. I have all the scallions that I chopped, and I'm going to put those in. Don't you love that sizzle? Sounds so good. Onions, scallions, garlic always smell so great. So we're going to put them in, and like I said, they're going to cook down a lot, so that's why you need so many. Okay, so my scallions are cooking beautifully, as you can see. And again, we're not browning them, we're just softening them up and making them that beautiful green color. So part of the reason why we add so much oil is because when we roll this rucola up, as we're rolling it, we coat the bread dough with some oil, and that makes it really crispy and flaky. So we'll keep cooking this for a little bit more, and when it's ready, I'll show you the next steps. So I just took my scallions out of the frying pan and I drained the oil out of them. So you can see they cooked down to barely nothing, but I'm going to let those cool off a bit before I make my rucola. And then this was the oil. So I have this whole bowl of oil that I'm going to use to coat the strudel as I roll it. All right. So what we're going to do next is take the pizza dough and pour it out. I coated this counter with some flour. So I'm just going to coat the pizza dough with some flour. And I should have rolled up my sleeves first. But I'm going to roll this out to be really thin as I can possibly get it. Okay, so I have my dough all rolled out really thin, as you can see, super thin. And I am going to put a little bit of the olive oil that I used to saute the onions or the scallions with, because that will make this really fabulously crispy. And I'm going to use my hands a lot here, so if you're turned off by people using their hands, then please don't watch. But anyway, I'm going to take these scallions that I cooked down, and I'm just going to sprinkle them all over this dough. And they do have a little of the oil still in them. Not so much, but just a little. And you sort of don't put them at the edge, but everywhere else. And then just spread them out so that everybody's going to get a delicious bite of them when they eat this. See, I mean, you had all those scallions and they cooked down to nothing, but it's enough for this. So, okay, so we have that. And then I took a can of olives that I drained and put as much or as little as you want. I think they do call for, let's see, 1/4 pound of Italian cured olives pitted, but I don't like the Italian cured olives. Actually, the only kind I like are these are the pearl onion olives grown in California. I don't like green olives. I'm going to use the whole can because I can. So, okay. So that's that. Then you take a jar of pignoli nuts, and this is 1.75 ounces, and you just sprinkle those on top of this bread dough. Okay. I know it doesn't really sound very good, but it really is delicious. And then you take some oregano, and I think it calls for, let's see, what's it called for? 2 heaping teaspoons. But, you know, again, I've made this enough that I know what that looks like. So I'm just going to sprinkle it all over so that it coats the whole pastry. And again, if you like strong oregano, put more. And then a little bit of garlic salt. Not too much. And then we're going to put the raisins. And this sweetens up this rucola so nicely. And again, as many as you like. I don't like too many. I just like a little hint of sweetness. This is a 10-ounce bag. Let's see what the recipe calls for. It calls for a 15-ounce bag, but that's way too much. I will not use this whole bag at all. So I'd say I'd probably use more like 5 ounces of raisins. So that's good. And then the last thing we're gonna do is just a little black pepper, and put that over this like that. What does that look like on the screen? It probably looks not very good. But anyway, we are going to start rolling. And some people roll from this way forward. Some people roll from this way. I actually roll from this way in towards me. So I'm going to take this, and you're just going to fold it over. And as you fold it over, you just brush a little oil on top of it. And again, that's going to give it that nice, crispy, flaky texture to the bread dough. And if you have any oil left over, you can always use that oil for something you make for dinner the next day, whatever that might be. Nice steak, some potatoes, whatever, but that oil is perfect for coating that. Helps if I bring the oil closer. Okay. When my family does it, a lot of times you see two people rolling this because grandma can actually roll it, or used to be able to roll it, even thinner than I do. And so you would have two people helping you roll it up so that it didn't break and so you didn't lose any of the ingredients that are in it. Okay. Probably one more roll after this. Yum, yum, yum. I can't wait till this is done. And then I take this and I just fold it over like that. They tell you to wet your fingers before you seal it up like this. Wet your fingers with some water. It acts like a glue to keep the rucola all in so nothing comes out. So, instant glue. And just seal it. Is the cup in the way? Just seal it like that. You can pinch it if you want, but it seals pretty nicely. And then, you know, if you were having cheese in this filling, you could make sure you pinch the edges. I actually just push the edges under once because this is my favorite part of the rucola because it gets really crispy. And I've already got a pan here that I'm going to spray with pan, but I do put some of that scallion oil on here as well. And brush that on here so that, again, that flavor of scallions is all over the place of that bread. And I'm going to give this one more brushing like this. And then I'm going to pray that I don't embarrass myself. And when I pick this up, that it's not going to break. So I'm going to pick it up. It did not break. Shape it like in a horseshoe, like so. I don't know why you have to shape it like a horseshoe, but we do. Make sure everything is coated with oil. And actually, during the baking process, after about halfway through, I am going to coat it with oil one more time. I'm going to sprinkle the top with just a little bit more garlic salt, not too much. And that is it. I'm going to pop it in the oven, 400 degrees for, I think, 20, let me look at the recipe, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. Baste it more with oil and then put it in for another 15 minutes. So it cooks for another, a total of a half hour. So, okay. So I'm back and I just took my rucola out of the oven for the first time. It's starting to brown beautifully already. My husband goes, "Oh my God, what are you making? It smells so good." It, like, you can smell it outside. The scallions, the neighbors are gonna be talking about me. But anyway, so I'm just putting a little more oil all over this beautiful bread. And then I'm going to sprinkle it one last time with just a tad of garlic salt, a little shake of pepper, black pepper. That's a little more than a shake. And then just a sprinkle of oregano. And now it's going to go back in the oven for another 15 minutes till it's really nice and brown, and then we're gonna wait 5 minutes and then we're gonna eat it. So, okay, see you in a few minutes. Okay, so I let it sit for a few minutes, and I am going to cut this open. And I don't know if you can see how flaky it is, and it's steaming. Okay, I'm not going to take that piece because that's fell apart. But this piece will not. It's really still too hot. But, okay. Ow. It's really hot. Okay, I'm going to take the piece that I destroyed here. But this is the rucola. I don't know if you can see inside all the raisins, the olives, the scallions, and it's really yummy, but it's too hot to eat. So just know that it's delicious. If you want the recipe, you know where to find it.